So attachment number 2 is your COI form, which if you need to duplicate it, just go ahead and duplicate it as many times as you need to. It's got, again, the same fill in the blanks that you've had all along, where you fill in, just type and fill in what you need. The role of the person that is self-reporting here, any information about them, their conflict of interest statement, it's pretty clear, and if there's an actual potential or perceived conflict by that person or their significant other, self-report yes or no. And then if it's a yes, they need to explain. And then sign their name and date it. So all of your people on your committee, if you determine there is a potential for a conflict of interest, should complete this form, including the nurse planner. But the nurse planner can't analyze their own form. They have to have somebody else analyze from here out. So if you've determined that there's a potential for conflict of interest, then you proceed, and here are all your options of what you can do to resolve the conflict. It's not applicable. There's no conflict of interest, because we used to require these forms of everybody on every application, and that's why this is still here. So if you've done that and you've determined for this particular event there's no conflict, just mark the box, sign your name, file it away in your records, but I don't need it. You can remove the individual from participating in all parts of the educational activity. You can revise their role so it's no longer relevant to the educational activity. Do not award credit for that component of the educational activity. You can review their educational material for bias and make sure that there's nothing, their slides can't show that I work for Baxter Pharmaceutical, but I'm not talking about Baxter Pharmaceutical. You want to just make sure any bias is eliminated. So although your topic may not have a conflict of interest, if you've determined that there could be bias, then you, as the nurse planner, should review their slides, inform them that they can't talk about Baxter Pharmaceutical, even though the topic is on leadership, so that none of that will creep in to the event. If it's very dicey, you may want to assign somebody to sit in the educational event and listen for bias, just to make sure it doesn't take place. So there's 2 components: conflict of interest for topic and commercial interest, but also bias in their presentation. And then the nurse planner signs and dates, or if this is being done for the nurse, on behalf of the nurse planner's conflict of interest, then somebody else would sign and date that they have reviewed this information that the nurse planner has submitted.
Would you suggest that the content expert be the person who reviews the nurse planner COI form?
That would be perfectly great, because if there's only 2 people, that would be an excellent option.